Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel. You like what you see? Reach out to me directly, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Now, launched in 1998, the Patek Philippe Aquanaut 5065A-001 is the early Aquanaut most people prefer to wear. True, the 5060A was the first, and it's less common, but that 35.6mm watch feels almost like a lady's timepiece to the wrist of 2020. This one, tritium dial, early production, rare, objectively, and highly collectible, is a more wearable 38mm in stainless steel. Launched 1 year after that first Aquanaut, the timepiece is still slender, designed to duck under a cuff at 8.3mm thick. It's 45mm lug-to-lug with a 19mm spacing between the lugs. Throw it on my 16cm circumference wrist, and this model, which was actually known as the Jumbo in its day, is quite compact, being 45mm lug-to-lug. This is a watch I can recommend for a wrist as small as 13cm circumference. And yet, as a steel Patek Philippe sports watch with a lovely original faded tritium dial, it has immense wrist presence. So if you've got that big wrist, this is also for you, easily sliding underneath the cuff. Now let's take a look at the hardware and the software. The original geosphere cut of the Aquanaut, meant to imply world-wandering adventure, well, that's duplicated on what Patek Philippe describes as a composite strap. I call it rubber. All the same, you can see it echoes the hobnail cut of the dial. Fairly thick. This is designed not to tear. It is supple enough that it's comfortable and thoughtfully striated with several different scorings on both sides, so you have many incremental cut marks that allow you to size this just right. You have a folding clasp in stainless steel, folded shut, notes all polished, so it's nicely executed. You see that little Calatrava cross formed by the buckle when closed. The case band is simple. The Aquanaut was less involved in its assembly than the Nautilus, but with simplicity comes strength, and you can see there's a combination of polish and satin and hard character lines in conjunction with curves and rounded bevels. It's a good look, and one that derives from the Nautilus without necessarily plagiarizing the Nautilus. Crown guard profile, screw down crown, 120-meter water resistance. Now this is an original tritium dial, both the indices and the hands, so all original, quick set date. You can see that it beats away at a slower rate than the later Aquanaut 324 caliber. This is the 315 SC, which beats away at 6 beats per second, or 21,600 vibrations per hour. Note that all of the Arabic numerals are applique white gold, so it has both printed loomed indices and applique individual numerals. Turn it over, you can see that caliber 315 changes relative to the 324. Well, the 324 adopted unidirectional winding. This is bidirectional winding, and the 324 used a 28.8 beat rate. This is 21.6. Otherwise, 30 joule movement, automatic winding, 35 to 45 hour power reserve, Geneva hallmark, and all of the pulchritude that implies. It is beautifully finished. And it has a Gyromax style free-sprung balance, Patek Philippe's original invention from the early 1950s, designed to allow precise regulation and then toughness in the face of shock and bumps on the wrist. It does not feature hacking seconds, but as mentioned earlier, it does feature a quick set date, and it is very thin, giving you a timepiece that wears easily underneath the cuff. Nicely decorated. You can see mirrored anglage, polished screw heads. They are blackened screws, black polished, that is to say, with chamfered slots in circumference. You have that mirrored bevel on the edge of every bridge, as well as the Côte de Genève linear across the bridges. You have circular Côte de Genève with engraving on the rotor, with a spiral engine turning on the center. There is a larger engine turning below the balance, and then all of the wheels feature satination. You'll also note there's a very subtle engine turning on the click wheel that sits adjacent to the center of the winding rotor, so it's a nicely detailed movement. And again, unlike the original 5060A, which had a solid case back, here you get a sapphire display, so you can actually see that for which you have paid. This is still a full-service sports watch and one heck of a collectible. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.